when a show's split between our facilities, the challenges aren't so much technology. It's human. It's personal. The communication, the supervision. It can really stretch a production and supervising team when we're crossing time zones like that. So really the only answer is each facility has to have a supervision team and a production team. In the case of the lead facility, that's where the main production and supervising team are. And then the secondary facility would have their own team as well, checking in on a daily basis with the lead facility. But it would just stretch people too far if it all had to run entirely out of the main facility. So the idea is that when the time zones overlap, we're going home knowing that everything we send out, London will pick up in the morning and hopefully action. And then when they're on their way out, we have a brief moment where we can do conference calls with them. It usually works out 6 o'clock in London is the best time for Vancouver and London to confer on that day's work or the next day's work, so that everything's lined up, so that we can then present everything to the client in whichever of those facilities is their kind of home or lead facility. Technology has always played a part, and we're constantly trying to figure out where do we put our investment in for the next couple of years. Do we go for a big ticket R&D project because we know that clients are going to be expecting a certain new thing? For example, in previous years it had been fur or fluid simulations. Or do we invest the technology in more efficient ways to do what we're already doing, or better ways for our facilities to work with each other, because capacity is the problem. Technology can solve different problems. It can make it easier to do what you're doing, and therefore give the artist more time to be creative and less time to be having to deal with technology. Technology can make it possible to do a new effect that hasn't been done before or hasn't been done as well before. Technology can also enable us to work across our facilities easier and therefore really make the best use out of the capacity we have across 3 different countries. I think what MPC has done well over the past, say, 10 years is try to put money into the technology that gets us the best medium-term result. A lot of where we spent our money is in creating a pipeline that will allow artists to drop in and start working quickly and collaborate across the teams without reinventing things every show. I think that we try to allow every show to still have some innovation and not just be a cookie cutter thing where we're only good at doing what we did before. In order to work on really big and complex shows, we have to have a baseline pipeline that lets us do a lot of complicated things efficiently. For example, one of the things we've done over the past couple of years is move to a departmental structure for the most part in running the company. But when it comes to running the shows have to be really smart about making use of a department, getting the efficiencies of having a departmental structure without killing the innovation and team spirit that you get when you just put everybody in a big room and say you're all working on a movie. That's one of my challenges in starting up any show, is how am I going to take the well-run, efficient departments MPC's created across all of our sites? How do I pull those teams together and make it feel like they're all working on a movie together? To me, that's always been about finding in each of our departments or disciplines a few strong people that can be leaders that are devoted to the show for the time they're on it, which could be 9 months to a year. So they put the show first and the department second. Having strong leads, it makes all the departments work together, and it makes all the department resources see that person as a representative of the show. I can't be everywhere at once. I can't go around and make people feel the pressures and the inspiration of working on the movie, but hopefully I can put that down to the next level of people, into the leads of the show, and make them feel like they're really part of something. Then that can spread down into the departments. We may have a TD on our show for a couple months, and then they'll go off to do something else. But in the couple months that they're involved with what we're doing, their lead, that artist, me, we can all be working on something together. And the systems and the technologies we've developed are hopefully a way for that to feel easy and natural, and every show you get that, even though the show has very different challenges and a very different feel, culture. MPC in general embarked a little while ago on an R&D project to do with volumetrics. We certainly need that on Jack the Giant Killer, but there's other MPC shows as well. One of the reasons that volumetrics we decided was where we need to be spending a lot of our effort is not only because of the nature of projects where there's more full CG environments, less dependence on traditional matte painted skies and cycs, but very much stereo. When you're moving into doing films in stereo and in 3D, you can't rely on what was perfectly valid approaches before of beautiful paintings of sunsets and clouds in the distance. A lot of times the filmmakers are now expecting those to be dimensional and have a 3D component to them. So a strong volumetrics technology, the ability to simulate, render, and manipulate all of those things is now important to a lot of projects we're doing, not only because we're pushing more and more towards full CG environment work, but because it has to also be in stereo for most projects now.